I am delighted to welcome you all for the inauguration ceremony of the IIT Hyderabad Technology and Research Park. I kindly invite Professor K.V.L. Subramaniam Sir, Dean Planning, to say a few words.
Good morning to everyone. Dignitaries on the dais, Chief Guest Dr. Srivari Chandrasekhar, Secretary DST, Guests of Honor Saito Mitsunori, Chief Representative of JICA, Shingo Miyamoto, Minister Embassy of Japan, Dr. BBR Mohan Reddy, Chairman BOG IIT Hyderabad, Professor B.S. Murthy, Director IIT Hyderabad, and Professor C. Subramaniam, Faculty in Charge TRP. Ladies and gentlemen who have assembled with us here, and those who are joining virtually through the online platform, a very warm welcome to this inaugural function of the TRP building. A little bit about the building. This building has been designed by Professor Yoshiyuki Kawazoi of the University of Tokyo, and it symbolizes a footprint of the enduring IIT Hyderabad-Japan collaboration. The building itself was funded by Ministry of Education, and it is meant as to serve as a platform for an extended outreach with the industry for IIT Hyderabad. And we hope to use this building to enhance our outreach to the industry and serve as a platform for academia-industry collaboration. It's equipped with several laboratories, both wet and dry, which can be customized, leased by industries for the use, conference rooms, and a food court. With that, brief introduction about the building. I once again extend a warm welcome to this inaugural function of the TRP building on IIT Hyderabad campus.
Next, I invite Professor B.S. Murthy Sir to address all dignitaries and attendees.
Good morning, friends. Very, very happy to meet all of you on this very auspicious occasion that we have been able to realize one of our dreams of IIT Hyderabad, to have a building which brings us very close to the industry and establishes strong collaborations so that we grow together along with the industry for the growth of the country and participate in the Atmanirbhar Bharat. I'm very happy today that we have Dr. Chandrasekhar, Secretary DST, with us, and also our beloved Chairman, Board of Governors, Dr. Mohan Reddy Garu, with us. Very, very happy to have both of them blessing us. Dr. Mohan Reddy Garu has always been blessing us in every endeavor that we have taken, and he has been with us in every small or big initiatives that we have taken at IIT Hyderabad. And this is one of the very big initiatives. Thanks to everyone who has contributed, starting from KVLS Garu as a dean. He has initiated this whole thing, starting from the design. And I would also like to mention today that we have a very strong relation with Japan. All of you are aware of that. And JICA has been supporting a lot of our phase 2 construction and also helping us in our research through the friendship project. This particular building is an exclusive building where the whole funding comes from Ministry of Education, 75 crores. 2017, the government of India decided to support 5 IITs with research parks and identified about 75 crores each for each of them. And I was told that we are first among those 5 to have the building ready, and the rest of them are actually still working on that. But what is the connection of Japan with the TRP is that this particular architecture of this building, the design of this building, is exactly similar to the building that you see in front of us, the TIP building, Technology Incubation Park or Technology Innovation Park, whatever you want to call it as. And that building, financial support and also the architectural support came from Japan. Professor Kawazoe, I was told by Professor KVLS from Tokyo University, he is the one who is an architect of that building. And when this particular funding came to us from MOE, we thought the best way to quickly move forward is to use one of the existing designs of one of the buildings, and that is when I think our institute has approached Professor Kawazoe to request him whether we can use the same design for the TRP also, and that approval was obtained, and that is how we have seen that even in this building we have a hand of the Japanese support to all of us. So we are all eagerly waiting to see that this building becomes full with so many industries occupying this. Already Professor Subramanian tells me that a number of industries have already approached us to take space here. I would also like to mention a very special mention about Suzuki Innovation Center, which is being set up by Suzuki here. And they tell us that this is possibly the first of its kind outside Japan that they are setting up a innovation center. Okay, we are really fortunate to have such a strong collaboration being established with companies of that nature and a number of other industries, some of them possibly Professor Subbugaru will mention. And we are eagerly looking forward to this space being occupied as soon as possible, and see that a very vibrant collaborative culture gets established at IIT Hyderabad with industry so that we grow for the sake of the country. Thank you very much for this opportunity to have all of you along with us on this auspicious occasion. And I would like to also mention here before I leave the kind of struggle that L&T has put in, particularly Shuklaji is sitting here with his whole team, and the TCE, both of them have worked day and night to see that this building is, kind of brought to a stage where we can inaugurate. I know how much of hard work they have put in. I have given a very strict deadline. I said February 5th, it has to be inaugurated. And I have been seeing it day after day, how they struggle to ensure that this is done. Thank you very much, Shuklaji, and the whole team of TCE also, headed by Venugopal and others. Thank you very much, Venugopal Garu. Thank you.
I now invite Reddy sir to give us a speech.
At the outset, let me extend a very warm welcome to Dr. Chandrasekhar. He's been visiting our campus for the first time. So welcome to you, sir. After he assumed his new role as the Secretary, Department of Science and Technology, no denying that he is from Hyderabad, but he has attained such a important position makes all of us very proud of him. Let's all join our hands to congratulate him one more time. Every time that I come back to the campus, I keep learning new things. And so I don't have a choice but to congratulate you one more time. Since I came last time, the ARIA rankings have been announced. And for the first time that we overtook the older first generation IIT. We now overtook not one, we overtook two of them. So congratulations to IIT Hyderabad and to the team. Certainly, I think this is a great initiative in terms of building a technology research park. We have technology one side. So therefore, we have technology coming in from that side. We want intense research to be here. There's innovation coming by. It's a combination of thereafter, we'll also speak about entrepreneurship. So I think it's an amazing world that we live in. The timing cannot be any better than today in terms of trying to think about research and innovation. There's no denying at all that all of us have gone through a very dreaded time for the last 2 years. It was dreading, fatigue, deja vu, you name it, all of them. But the hope is in the horizon that things are going to get brightened up. So hope is, but this year we'll probably get back to as normal as what it was before the pandemic hit us. But as a result of this 2 years, life has changed. Lives, livelihood, learning, all of them have changed. Look at some of them. Will you go back to a grocery store to go and buy things? All of us have got so adjusted at this point of time to do e-shopping. Or for that matter, will I go back to a bank to go and draw money? So banking, finance, insurance, all of those transactions have become very digital in nature. And in several instances, we have also seen that for minor ailments, you don't go to the doctor any longer. It's the teleconsulting that's come in. Or you look at tens of millions of people who work from home. We actually have engineers in a company who have not seen our buildings for the last 2 years. They're all working from home. And certainly what we've also seen, there's a fairly large amount of online content that's there. So you can learn anywhere, anytime. That's a new norm that's come by. So sum total of it is that we have come into a situation that many processes that we have experienced over the last 2 years are irreversible. It's the new normal that we have at this point of time. And there is a paradigm shift in terms of technologies. And what have we seen? That everything that we are doing at this point of time has accelerated because of technology. The way in which we perceive things in the past were far different from what it is today. And technology has become all pervasive. You can imagine any industry that you can think about. There is technology element associated with it. And what is happening further is that technology will become extremely disruptive. think about a car called, there's one right in front of here, a Mercedes-Benz car. What did we think about competition for a Mercedes-Benz? It was a BMW. It was a Lexus. These were two cars. You go and now ask the Mercedes-Benz executives, what do they think about competition for them? They think the competition for them is Tesla, which is an EV, completely different from the internal combustion engine that we had. They think Ola is a competitor for them because ride sharing has become so popular that car demand has come down. They think Google, with the type of technologies that they have with driverless cars, has become a competitor for them. Or, as people predict, Apple will become a competitor for them. So the whole technology is redefining the universe that we live in. It is far different from what it was in the past. So there couldn't have been any better time in terms of inaugurating a facility like this than what we have today. But you look further down in terms of the technology that's there, and this technology has to get monetized. And how does it get monetized is only with the industry collaboration. We certainly want to see some of you as startups. There are now some number of people who have done the startups. I know several of you have companies. I see Professor Kiran right here. And I know the EV Dongari is not here. Prashant Dongari is other startup. Several of the faculty members also will do startups, all right. But the key thing is that we need to have this perfect handshake between industry and the academia. And since we have the luxury of having the Secretary DST today with us, I have two requests to make. One is, sir, you have to push the budget in terms of the R&D in this country. Around the world today, the public funding for R&D is close to 80%, whereas India is just 20% lower than the public funding that happens in the Western world. So my humble request to Dr. Chandrasekhar is that we should fight towards increasing our R&D spend in this nation. Today, as a nation, for a GDP of a country like India, even where it is at this point of time, we spend no more than about 0.7% of GDP on R&D, where the norm in the Western world for the developing nations where we want to catch up further is more in the range of about 2 to 3%. So we have to have a multi-fold increase that has to happen. And the second one is that the private funding, if it has to catch up, I think we have to incentivize it. We have definitely spent a lot of time, sir, with many of your colleagues, many of the political bosses around, but still don't seem to think that this is the right way to do it. But I will again make one more attempt to make an appeal to Dr. Chandrasekhar that we should give some more amount of incentives for the industry to make sure that this R&D becomes much more intense. And this R&D that we're doing cannot be the jugaad R&D any longer. That's the other thing that I think we have to move away from. We're saying quick fixes that we can make, and that's not going to last for too long. I think the trend is fairly good, but I think we need to make an attempt to ensure that we probably start moving more towards deep technology. So the R&D will, my last part of it, will lead into innovation. These are research ideas. You put all these ideas together and produce a product or a service which is absolutely differentiated from what it was in the past. And I think there are some very good signs that we are seeing in the country at this point of time. The startup ecosystem is certainly becoming much more vibrant than what it was in the past. The fact this country produced 41 unicorns, I'm sure many of you are familiar with what a unicorn is, a company which has a valuation of more than $1 billion in a short span of time. Span is not defined. So we produced 41 of them when we did not have 41 in the past. We probably had somewhere in the same range. So I think there is a good intensity in terms of our startup ecosystem. What we need to do is to promote more amount of innovation and leading into entrepreneurship. We will not announce it today, but we will make one more initiative. We have innovation, we have research, we have technology. We'll also bring in the element of entrepreneurship into the school. IIT Hyderabad actually have the unique distinction of having started minor in entrepreneurship, not yesterday, day before yesterday, 11 years back. So now we want to enlarge that to make sure that this research, innovation will move into an environment where there'll be more amount of entrepreneurship. So again, congratulations to IIT Hyderabad for this great initiative. Every time that I keep coming here, it's not just buildings that I see newer than what I saw in the past. There's a new initiative that comes in. So I think it's a phenomenal job that's being done by every faculty member. So congratulations to all of you and thank you very much.
The IIT Hyderabad fraternity is very honored to have Mr. Shingo Miyamoto, Minister of Economic and Development, Embassy of Japan, and Mr. Saito Mitsunori, Chief Representative, GICA, as our distinguished guest of honor. Mr. Saito was the Director General of the Infrastructure Engineering Department at the GICA. We extend a very warm welcome to you, sir.
It is my honor to participate the inauguration of Technology Research Park, particularly at the occasion of the 70th anniversary of Indo-Japan diplomatic relations. Thank you for inviting JICA and especially being kind enough to connect us online despite still a difficult situation under the third wave of COVID-19. I believe JICA's cooperation with IIT Hyderabad is one of the significant symbol of Indo-Japan relationship. There are almost 100 ongoing projects in India for JICA, mainly in the field of the infrastructure development. But I believe the investment toward human resource can play further significant role in nurturing better bilateral relationship as well as stronger economy society of India. Our cooperation started based on the commitment between two prime ministers of the two countries in 2007. Since then, JICA has been cooperating with IITH by providing comprehensive assistance in research and development, human resource development, and improvement in infrastructure through various projects, including loan project, technical cooperation project, and the joint research project as well, and public-private private partnership projects. We believe that those have been very successful and will expanding further and further. In July last year, JICA and the government of India signed a record of discussion for a new technical cooperation project. The purpose of the project is to establish a sustainable platform for academic and industrial collaboration between India and Japan at IIT Hyderabad. I believe this technology research park to be inaugurated today will work as an excellent stage for the academic and industrial collaboration between two countries. The technical cooperation project has been started in full throttle. JICA experts have been communicating closely with IIT Hyderabad. I'm glad to introduce that several initiatives such as launching the Japan desk at IITH, student exchange programs, are supporting collaborative activities with Japanese educational and research institutes, and providing a JICA research funds will be implemented. We hope the experts can visit this beautiful facility soon to discuss future academic and industrial collaboration in face-to-face when the pandemic situation is improved. Further, I am delighted to know that Maruti Suzuki will be the first company to utilize this technology research park. I hope other companies, including Japanese companies, will take full advantage of this state-of-art facilities to foster and boost innovation and inventions. I believe this building will be fully contributing the priority areas of the recently announced union budget, productivity enhancement, investment, sunrise opportunities, energy transaction, and climate action. Those areas. We are facing various development challenges, which can be solved only with innovation and technology. I'm sure that the industry-IITH collaboration to be enhanced here will play a significant role in it. We are expecting more such facilities to be inaugurated in the coming month. Some of the buildings, including this one, are the symbolic facilities designed by the Japanese design team through JICA's Technical Cooperation Project. I expect that the inauguration of the campus building will have a great impact on other collaboration between IITH and Japan, including our project. So once again, congratulations on the inauguration. Thank you very much.
Now, I invite Mr. Shingo Miyamoto, Minister of Economic and Development, Embassy of Japan, to grace us with a few words.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for giving me an opportunity to participate in this important ceremony, albeit through virtual format. As Mr. Saito just mentioned briefly, this year actually marks the 70th anniversary of the friendly relationship between Japan and India. And Dr. Chandrasekhar, if you look behind you in the panel, you see this logo on the right-hand side of the panel, which says 70. This is the logo of the celebration of the 70th anniversary between our two countries. I have it on my back screen as well. It is so fitting that we are this ceremony is being held at this time because the cooperation between Japan and India in terms of working with IIT Hyderabad is probably one of the most important projects that we have between our countries because it has a relationship with education, technology, and as we are seeing with the inauguration of the Technology Research Park today, it creates a link with industry, innovation. These are all very important things that will further boost our probably, I would say the relationship between our two countries is one of the most important relationships, bilateral relationships in the world. And so this is very important. And I'm very proud and happy that we are celebrating this together in this year in which we are celebrating our 70th anniversary. Let me tell you one really practical and personal experience that I have had, which is in the related to the high-speed rail project that we are doing together. So India and Japan are working together to build the first high-speed rail system in India. The first line will be from Mumbai to Ahmedabad. And of course, this is one of the most important projects we have. And when I was discussing this project with the engineers of the Japan Rail East Company, which is the company that will be providing the technology, one of the structural engineers working in this company in Japan right now was an Indian lady, very young lady. She is a structural engineer who is working in Japan now in this company that runs the high-speed rail to support their concrete structures that support the high-speed rail. And she was Indian. And she spoke perfect Japanese, like a Japanese person. So I asked her, like, where did you study? And she told me she was a graduate of IIT Hyderabad. So this lady, who is an alumni of your school, is now working in Japan with her Japanese counterparts for the high-speed rail in Japan. And I think when she comes back to India, she will be supporting the project here. So this is the kind of real, I guess I would say, fruit of the relationship that we have. And with the inauguration of the Technology Research Park, I think that we will have more and more fruits like this in the future. So my congratulations go to everyone who is present here today. And let's celebrate this auspicious year by expressing our hope and pledging to work together to make things like this happen more and more frequently in the future. Speaking of Maruti Suzuki, and I will end my statement by saying this, but Maruti is a really big success story. Suzuki is a Japanese company, but Maruti Suzuki is an Indian company. And this is really true. And they're here and they're producing here. And it's important that they're going to do research here as well, because this means that Indian products will be innovated and exported to overseas. This is in line with Prime Minister Modi's vision. And so I'm really proud to hear that Suzuki will be associated with this technology research park. My congratulations go to them as well. I just want to introduce a little thing that in my Hindi textbook, in the first chapter, the first dialogue that I learned went like this. And it was a small kid, Indian child, pointing to a car outside of his window. And he was asking, "Wo gadi Japani hai?" Like this. And another kid says, "Nahi, nahi. Wo gadi Japani nahi hai. Wo gadi Maruti hai." The first dialogue in a Hindi textbook written by a British professor, which is so telling that our companies, our peoples, our countries are working together so closely that this car, which you see every day on the street, someone asks is Japanese and it's not even Japanese, which is so telling, I think. And this, I think, kind of symbolizes what the Technology Research Park is itself. So thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to speak. I wish you all the best and let's achieve great things together this year as well, but going into the future as well. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Now I extend a very gracious welcome to our eminent chief guest of the day, Dr. Srivari Chandrasekhar sir, Secretary, Department of Science and Technology, Government of India.
Friends, good morning, and it's a really honored moment for me that I'm part of the most prestigious campus university, IIT Hyderabad, and greetings to all the friends in Japan. The India-Japan friendship dates back to 70 years, and also we are celebrating our 75th year of India's independence, Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. So it's a great honor for me that I'm in the midst of leaders like all of you. Greetings to Mohan Reddy Garu, Director Murthy Garu, and all the friends in the call today, and all the friends who are joining on the YouTube, Facebook, and other social media. While we are talking of the ecosystem of the country on the startups, how we become truly Atmanirbhar, make in India programs and all sorts of things, which we have been talking in the last few years, IITs are playing a major role, and I'm sure Hyderabad is really taking the lead. With my little experience in Delhi, I'm only like 7-week old there, and difficult to convey what are the sentiments currently around. But I can only assure you that Government of India is committed, and if you have seen the address of Honorable Finance Minister on the February 1st, presenting the budget to the country, there have been a lot of emphasis on how India can really take forward science and technology into the products. We have seen her message on organic farming, using drone technologies, and liberalization of policies. It's a testimony that our friendship with international friends is truly awesome. When we hear from Professor Murthy that the Japanese partnership is making this campus the most vibrant campus in our country. Also, if you look at the accolades IIT Hyderabad has been getting, are phenomenal. I'm looking at both the buildings, one which allows you to start up and incubate yourself, and you mature a bit and then move few meters and come into a larger premises where you take your ideas forward and then go to investors, make your own factories, and become another unicorn company. I think that's the journey of or any dream who thinks of companies. We have been talking of geospatial policies. Those who are working in the sector, I'm happy to announce that only 6 weeks ago, on my first day of taking charge as Secretary DST, we were in the high-tech city and then inaugurating the new geospatial policy. And Map My India company became a unicorn, a small seed money given by DST. And then today, Map My India is one of the unicorns, like what Professor Reddy was talking about. 40 odd companies, which never heard. Actually, unicorn word is new to me, actually. I never heard this word before. And then I've seen Mohan Reddy himself has grown as unicorn company in a very short time. So he himself has coined the word, I'm sure. And we have seen Hyderabad has been a very vibrant ecosystem. If you look at Dr. Anji Reddy, Dr. Reddy's, if you look at Aravindo, I'm talking of companies like Infosys. You name any IT company, they have a large presence in Hyderabad, and the Telangana government also has been pushing this ecosystem very hard. While the new norm in life has pushed us back into work from home, but wet science and wet engineering cannot happen at home. I think people like us who work on the ground have no choice but to come to work. Maybe IT professionals could continue to work from home. And I know many of my close family friends, children, they moved out of high-tech city because it's not worth staying in high-tech city and work from home. They all vacated those apartments, moved to their hometowns, wherever they are. And still, I think productivity has been quite okay in those sectors. But these two iconic constructions, which Professor Murthy has conceived and they are in place now, I think these are the places for people who cannot work from home. I think we also need to have places where we cannot work from home. And these are the testimony buildings where someone who would like to really start a company, come here and do it. I also would like to tell all of you, those who watched the Beating Retreat on the 29th of January on the Vijaypal. 1,000 drones have flown in the sky and made all of us proud. Only 3 days ago, we felicitated this startup company. Again, this startup company was funded by DST. And initially, we gave a grant of about 60 lakh rupees. Then they wanted another 2.5 crores to expand, which was given by Technology Development Board, which is part of DST. And today, they are aspiring to be, again, hopefully in the next few years, another unicorn. Their business model is very simple. Make few drones which are aesthetic on any event. For example, Gujarat government has ordered 2,000 drones to them that they should make a Fest of Gujarat event, going onto the sky in the night and make whatever designs you could make, and one small computer and then a small, like a toy basically, but then you are really doing on the sky. And DRDO got excited. Now they think it's something they want to do. DRDO is now funding them. So the first fund is the tough money to get. But once you get the first money and show the success, I'm sure many more investors will come and companies will grow. So I'm proud that these two buildings hopefully will start giving new startups, new products, and we start getting next generation products. My only request to IIT fraternity who are on the call today, I think India has gone too much on the soft science. Sorry, sir, but Mohan has been a pioneer in the soft science. The kind of software and the technology we developed, his own company and Infosys and all those companies. I think we are lacking behind on the hard part. And I think this is the time we should really start investing into wet lab where you sit and make a product by ourselves. While Japan has been a great friend, we may get product from Japan, but I think India has to be truly self-sufficient on the products. While these IT platforms and products of computers and these things would be useful in monitoring the progress and giving you next generation computers. But we are really working hard on pharma and agriculture. With all this growth, India still continues to be 65-70% of our economy. People live, their livelihood revolves around agriculture. And how best we could use our soft skills and make farmer empowered. I think that's still, we are not given a large push in these national institutes. So my request to IIT friend, Professor Murthy, really, I think agricultural engineering, tools required for farmers. I'm sure the mechanical engineers, the drone technologies for farmers. There are many opportunities which we need to grab, and using these two buildings, we should encourage our youngsters who are completing their BTech master's program, PhDs, if they can really come forward and take up the challenge of how we could really connect to the farmers, is something we need to really work on. And we are all proud that India was looked at by even the then President of America, Trump. Can you please send us hydroxychloroquine? What a stupid molecule, which has no role in corona, but we were holding stocks. And I'm sure most of you went to Apollo Pharmacy and bought hydroxychloroquine and storing in Almara that who knows, it will save our lives. And I think just because Trump told it works. So, but India has been a pharma hub. But if you really go and talk to friends in Dr. Reddy's and Aurobindo, we still depend on 60%, 70%, 80% of raw materials from other countries. So friends in chemistry, I think you're on the stage today. I think chemistry department has to really work with industry very, very closely. We are conceiving a call now as part of 75 years of independence. That 75 is the magic word in Delhi now. So 75 chemicals, 75 weeks, and we'll give you grant. So your job is to tie up with one startup company, one academic faculty, and tie up with one large industry, because at the end of the day, you need to manufacture the product. So 70, you pick up a chemical and we give you a grant. I think this call is being conceived by TIFAC. Again, TIFAC is an organization under DFT, which gives futuristic ideas for DST. So we are conceiving about 75 chemicals, and chemistry friends could really pitch in and get into that. We are launching a large mission now. This mission is basically on quantum computers. Again, people are worried that quantum computer can hack any computer in a fraction of a minute. I'm not expert, sir. Maybe you're a leader in computers. And now Government of India wants to launch a quantum mission. So we are marked about 8,500 crores for next 5 years. 50% DST will fund, 50% other ministries like MITI, Electronics Ministry and Defense and DRDO and ISRO and all will fund this program. So again, I think this is something, there are large opportunities. I'm not an expert in that area, but when we spoke to friends from industry, they say that India is leader in software. We need quantum software, but government believes that we need to be strong in hard also. Just because you write a program, but you need a computer which drives. So calls are going to come in the next few months. Hopefully, once the cabinet approves the note, in the next 6 months, a huge call will come on the quantum computers. So this is where I request IIT friends to start watching and then recruit some faculty who can use those buzzwords quickly. So I think you could take lead on the activity. While human resources is another big challenge. Anytime someone starts a company, the first request I used to get in IICT was, do you have good PhDs in chemistry, good PhDs in technology transfer? And I think our PhDs are really too much fundamental, publication oriented. And when even if they recruit a PhD in the company, they need to again give 1 year training before they really start experimenting in industrial environment. And I'm told, I think your chemistry group is starting industrial chemistry program, and anything I require from my parent institute, IICT, will be very happy to work there. There are a lot of challenges, but great opportunities, as Mohan Edigal told. This pandemic has taught us that we could deliver goods in less time. No one thought that India could become a vaccine leader. This is because we really invested in science and technology for the last 70 years at the right place. If you talk to Krishnaji, he tells how much DBT and DST has helped when he returned from the US. That's why today we are all happily talking, sometimes removing the mask and smiling and all that. So we built the ecosystem well. I think it's the time to take off now. And today, Honorable Prime Minister is going only 10 kilometers away from here, IITSAT, to inaugurate a building which is funded by DST on the agricultural sector. So agriculture, pharma, and of course, back-end support from artificial intelligence. End of the day, no one can beat human thought processes. Today, when I started at my home, started using the Google to come here, while I know the route, my driver was due. And Murthy called me and said, sir, don't trust Google Maps because it will take you around. So I'm sure Map My India is going to be beating the Google Maps. All the Maruti car, I think one of our minister was talking on the Maruti Suzuki cars, and they are going to use, I think, the Map My India. That's why that company became a unicorn company. So a lot of opportunities, friends on the call, DSTs has a responsibility, and we are answerable to the taxpayers' money, and we get about 7,000 crores from the government. Then our Department of Biotechnology gets another 3 crores. DSIR, CSIR gets another 5,000 crores. About 15,000 crores has been given to us amongst the Science Ministry. Ministry of Earth Science has got 3,000 crores. Again, I think a lot of science is happening below the sea, and I don't know if IITs are playing any important role below the sea. NIO Goa is one dedicated institute. Ministry of Earth Sciences has a lot of opportunities. We wanted some drones which go under the sea and stay there under the stress and send you the data. So I think mining sea is one challenge we all have. Then our Prime Minister has committed that by 2070, India becomes a carbon neutral country. Again, challenges are our construction is the biggest culprit of planet's carbon contribution, the cement industry. So whether Japan will come up with new technologies on carbon neutrality on cement, and whether India partners with Japan and other countries is another challenge all of us should take. Then we are building a 30-meter telescope in Hawaii Island. DST is a partner, investment is about $2 billion, and DST has to put 10% of the total cost. Japan is a partner there. Japan is a partner in the 30-meter telescope, and Indian astrophysics scientists are waiting for the telescope to come up. And suddenly there's a problem that Hawaii Island is considered as a sacred mountain, and the local people are stopping us from going forward. So, but then we are working with the US government very closely. So hopefully that 30-meter telescope will come, and that will allow you to see beyond what is I think India, Earth is the smallest planet today, and we are seeing whether life is there elsewhere, and they will come and take us over one day. So we want to see the telescope, if something is there beyond us. So many exciting sciences are happening around the world, and DST really is committed. While many people have grievances that DST is known to give the first installment, and then we start troubling you for the second installment. But the problem is with your finance officers, because they don't send utilization certificates on time. So please, if the finance officer is on the call, please, I think, give us utilization certificates on time in the formats we give you, so your installments aren't delivered. Money is there, actually, in Milita we can't give you because now everything is online. This online is another killer, because unless everything is complete, the program doesn't allow us to release the fund. So please write to me, and I'll be happy to respond. My habit in IIC as a director was to share my mobile number with my colleagues at any grievance. You text me and you get the reply, and that SMS will go to the concerned officer. I started this in DST, and I didn't realize that IICT was a 200 crore institute and DST is a 10,000 crore institute. Now I get every 30 seconds one message, sir, so I need to change my mobile number now. So, but please send a message to DST secretary and my office. First time introduced OSDs in the department. So these officers in special duty, their job is to follow the mails, reply to you, hopefully. And Murthy, you gave me one assignment. I'm struggling on that. You know how much push I'm doing on that, and we'll be able to solve it very soon. And don't hesitate to write to DST, and we have enough funds to support the right ideas. And we have another important department within us, which is called Knowledge Innovation Foundation, NIF, and National Innovation Foundation, sorry, National Innovation Foundation in Gandhinagar. We are trying to have a small office in Hyderabad. It works with the grassroots innovations. We have about 1,000 patents owned by this innovation foundation, and we go to really farmers and homemakers, even anyone who has an idea, they could just come and work with us, and we give some scientific. We connect to institutes like IITs. We give small money, 10 lakhs, 15 lakh rupees, so that you can work with the grassroots idea. And if it's really good idea, take it forward. Not a good idea, just drop it after a test run. So these are the avenues which are open to all of you. We'll be happy to work with all of you. And thank you again, Murthy Garu, for this opportunity. And we should be tapping on Mohan sir that he should also start a foundation and start giving some grants to startups. And who knows, one of your investors become another unicorn very soon. So thank you all, Jai Hind.
Yeah, before our Subugaru comes for our friends, I have a small announcement to make. About a few days back, our Department of Chemistry colleagues came to me. You all have seen how eminent Chandrasekhar Garu is, and his innovations are well known, and his vision is well known. And so they requested me, can we have Dr. Chandrasekhar Garu as an honorary professor at IIT Hyderabad? So immediately called him, took his consent, and then took the consent of our chairman. And today, I'm very glad to announce that Dr. Chandrasekhar is going to be the honorary professor at IIT Hyderabad. And thank you, sir. Thank you very much. And we are eagerly looking forward to very close association of you with us, and to see that you be with us in our growth path. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, friends, distinguished guests on the dais, friends and colleagues, and those who are, seeing this virtually. It is a formal duty to propose vote of thanks. Before I thank the chief guest, as Professor Murthy mentioned, this whole building, the initiative came from the Minister of Human Resource Development and the Minister of Education. On behalf of the whole institute and the Board of Governors and the entire fraternity of IIT Hyderabad, I would like to convey our sincere thanks to the Government of India, Minister of Education, for the whole support extended towards this building. As today is very auspicious, I'm sure like many of us are aware. Okay, so in India, many of us are garlanding, are worshipping the goddess of education. And it is probably a coincidence, or I don't know that Murthy planned it such a way. Now, today we have, the whole idea of the research park is to bridge the gap between industry and academia and hosting the industry on campus. We have the right chief guest. We have Professor Chandrasekhar, who is an accomplished researcher with an industry outlook. And sir, with your presence, definitely will remember this event forever. And more than that, now thanks a lot for accepting to be the honorary professor in our department. It's my personal privilege. I know we all are aware that how busy the DST secretary is going but despite his busy schedule, he accepted to be the chief guest of this event. Thanks a lot. Thank you very much on behalf of the entire institute. True to the name of the friendship, IIT Hyderabad has been from the beginning supported by the Japanese government, and we have a lively interaction with and a close connect with Japanese industries and with the JICA and Japanese government. And the colleagues who participated, Mr. Shinji Miyamoto and Mr. Saito Mitsunori, the guest of honor for this event. Thanks a lot for the kind words and the encouragement, whatever you have been extending to us. I would like to convey a sincere thanks to Dr. B.R. Mohan Reddy, Chairman Board of Governors, IIT Hyderabad, who has been the source of inspiration and motivation to all of us. Sir, thanks a lot for guiding all of us. Thank you very much. I would like to thank Professor Murthy, Director IIT Hyderabad, for the right push he has given. And at one point, probably 1 week back, even I have been visiting every day, and we were also not very sure if this building is going to be complete or it's going to be in this fashion. Professor Murthy, thanks a lot for all the encouragement you have been giving, and the right contacts you have been pushing. And thanks to some of the companies we have at this moment, we have 7 companies on campus, and now there is no scarcity of the space. As you see here, this is a massive building of around 1.5 lakh SFT area, and we are in touch, and we have some of the incubators here. Okay, so under the latest addition is Suzuki Innovation Center, and thanks a lot to all of you for making your presence here. And finally, I'd like to congratulate our CMD and the construction agency L&T, headed by our Dean Planning, Professor KVL Subramaniam. And many thanks to all of you for bringing or giving the final shape. Of course, I know that there is some more construction is going on, but I think such a wonderful thing, and it's a very lively, and it is going to be one of the iconic buildings of IIT Hyderabad. So with this, I am calling on to someone either participated offline or online. Thanks a lot to all of you for your presence here. Thank you very much.